Okay, preparation of alcohols. How to prepare alcohols at large scale. One method is generally termed as industrial method, and there is hydration of alkenes. In chemical properties of alkenes also, this particular chemical reaction is a frequently asked question. Hydration of alkenes. Here, preparation of alcohols by hydration of alkenes and by fermentation method. Fermentation method is restricted only to what? Ethanol. Because when yeast respire, it produces only ethanol and carbon dioxide. Just like us, we respire, we provide carbon dioxide and water, the steam. But the yeast respire and it provide, it changes to what? Carbon dioxide and ethanol. Fine. Preparation of alcohol by hydration method. Hydration of alkenes first. It produces a variety of alcohols. By fermentation only ethanol is prepared. You can't actually somehow modify yeast to produce propanol and butanol or methanol or whatever. But that method has its own advantages. We'll compare. Often this is also a question of comparison. First, hydration of alkenes. The word hydration means the water is added up. So that is addition of water across carbon-carbon double bond. What I said, addition of H2O across carbon double bond. Carbon means one of the carbon atom attached with double bond gets hydrogen atom, another get OH. So ethanol is hydrated to, ethene is hydrated to ethanol. This hydrogen mean is attached to one carbon and the OH attached to the other carbon, and double bond breaks, the unsaturation goes to saturation. So ethene when hydrated goes to ethanol. Ethene, the gas, water in the form of steam, because temperature, that is, conditions are very important, and often a question is regarding condition. It's 300 degrees Celsius, 65 atm as pressure, and A3PO4 as catalyst. These conditions, look at the very high pressure needed. Reason, the sign of reaction is reversible. It goes both way, and dynamic equilibrium is tilted to the left side, and in order to tilt it to the right side, you need to provide a very high pressure, because high pressure will shift to the side where there are less moles of the gas. Ethanol also in the gaseous form, because most alcohols have boiling point which are lesser, around 100, lesser than 100. Ethanol boils at 78. So at 300 degrees Celsius, this whole equation is the gaseous form. High pressure will shift to the side with less moles. If in the terms of reversible reaction they ask, you say high pressure is needed, that makes this process a bit expensive. Okay. Industrial method, easy to remember. Ethene and steam when react in the conditions 300 degrees Celsius, 65 atm pressure, A3PO4 as catalyst provides what? Ethanol. Ethene, steam, ethanol. Propene, steam, propanol. Butene, steam, butanol. Pentene, steam, pentanol. So varieties of alcohols can be prepared. We need varieties of alcohol because these varieties of alcohols, when oxidized, they turn to variety of carboxylic acid, and their combination generates a variety of ester, the flavor. There are so many flavors in the market because there are so many ethanols. Sorry, there are so many alcohols, and the isomerized alcohols and isomerized, you see, they turn into a variety of carboxylic acid, and their combination yields a variety of flavor. Keep things simple. Alkenes, when hydrated in these conditions, they turn to alcohols. Method is basically termed as industrial. Very high pressure is needed, that makes process expensive, and also the raw material used are basically not renewable because they are the derivatives of crude oil. These alkenes are obtained by cracking of hydrocarbon fractions, okay, naphtha fractions or larger hydrocarbon chains. So that is not renewable stuff. That is one disadvantage. Another disadvantage, very high pressure, non-renewable resource makes it as disadvantageous. If you want to prepare ethanol by this method and you want to use ethanol as a fuel, then using one fuel and producing another fuel makes no sense. That is why fermentation method is economical, because ethanol is needed in large scale. Ethanol is used as a drink, and uses also, ethanol is used as a alcoholic drink. In alcoholic drink, ethanol is used. That's also a big industry, the brewing industry. and fermentation is carried out. Also if ethanol is used as a fuel, like Brazil, they convert sugars to ethanol by a fermentation method, economical method, a large scale method, and also the raw materials used are renewable, they can grow. Sugars they obtain from sugar cane. You can obtain from sugar beet. You can obtain it from rice, from wheat, as this ancient people they used to obtain from the grapes. Okay, so ethanol, when it is subjected to fermentation in a large fermenter, yeast is being there in the organism, the fungus, and 37 degrees Celsius, an anaerobic condition, oxygen free, airtight, as the ancient people used to bury down the grapes. The grapes have yeast growing with them. After time when they take it out, the wine was ready. They were not able to fractionally distill it, so some poisonous toxics were often seen. Okay, just like these days, they prepared desi not by a technical method, by using the fermenters and all that. They can't fractionally distill it, and poisonous liquor killed many lives. Well, fermentation method uses sugars, the fermenter, 37 degrees Celsius, yeast, oxygen free environment you call anaerobic, and when yeast respire, it produces what? Ethanol. What is the waste product of it? The carbon dioxide, the gas. Carbon dioxide comes out of the fermenter, and the carbon dioxide has one drawback, that is, it's a greenhouse gas. It is a greenhouse gas. Environmental problem, it creates greenhouse effect. I said sugars are subjected inside the fermenter. Care should be taken that temperature is not exceeding 37 degrees Celsius. Yeast enzyme will be killed. Yeast is a living organism. And ethanol, which is being produced in the fermenter, is constantly being removed out of the fermenter, leached out. Just like our waste product carbon dioxide is coming off. Because that waste product will kill your what? The yeast. So, most important precaution, temperature should not exceed, and concentration of ethanol also should not exceed more than 18% inside the fermenter. Otherwise, yeast will be killed. Temperature 37 plus, yeast will be killed. Its enzymes at least get denatured. Okay, so anaerobic conditions, 37 degrees Celsius as the temperature, and precaution: never let the temperature exceed 37, and never let the concentration more than 18%. Varieties, tons of alcohols are prepared by Brazil and some other countries by fermentation. They are brewing industries. They are selling it as a that drink. Ethanol is used largely as a drink. They can have the revenue. And Brazil and some other countries, they are using, especially Brazil, I said again, they are using as fuel. So that method is advantageous over ethanol preparation by this method because of economic conditions, cheaper method, and renewable resource they use. So renewable fuel they produce. The biofuel it can be called as. And when ethanol is used as a fuel, it's not fossil fuel, it has no sulfur, so no sulfur dioxide produced. Compatible energy it provides, and less air pollution it creates. And they say ethanol burn and produce carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide is again utilized in preparation of food by plants. So carbon dioxide is consumed. So just like Brazil on paper at least, they says that carbon dioxide they have produced by burning of ethanol is reutilized by their plants. So that's the carbon neutral country. You need to learn what? Fermentation method. The fermentation of sugars. Sugars from variety of resources you can obtain, and these sugars are converted to what? Glucose by the yeast enzyme, and ethanol is produced along with carbon dioxide. Precautions are there. That method is advantageous if you want to prepare ethanol. But variety of alcohols, by hydration method, it has its own importance. We'll see chemical properties of alcohols in next video.